Satya Dharma Reflection on March the 5th, 2022. If unable to retreat from disregarding, unable to get out of oneself, the more dwelling within oneself, the more it's disgusting. Becoming strange ones and alien ones each day. How can there be a blessing when one is becoming the beings oneself, unable to retreat from the mind, unable to retreat from disregarding, always oneself, oneself, and oneself, becoming an alien once, on and on, becoming obsession with being the beings oneself. The brain is just messy. That which has nothing to do with disregarding has been said all the time. However, there's still an effort to disregarding so much. Retreat from the mind, retreat from the disregarding completely, often. Automatically, it will not having to do with the body or the mind or anything. It will be very good purification of the extinction, blessing in the way of purifying to the extinction and emptiness. Then it will be aligned with the true ending for samsara. We're coming here to help blessing, not to do other things. We are here collectively, not to do other thing else, except for the blessing. We are coming here to bless. Don't think too much. Don't think much. Don't think a lot. Each time that we coming down is for blessing, not to do other things. Each time there is the form up of the body and mind is for the blessing, not to take anything. It's also not to just be here to sit and lie down for nothing, not to just come for birth, old age, sickness and death for nothing. What is there to do? Just to give. Don't think much. We are born to bless, to be in the mechanism of blessing. Don't think in other ways. If you think in other ways, thinking in a way with nonsense, you're going to be the beings yourself. From not the beings, becoming the beings oneself. Therefore, don't be much. Even a tiny bit is not. No is not even no itself. This is not to sit and to lie down for nothing. Every time there is a form up, is already a suffering. So bear with it. Beware. Don't become like a nonsense out of the essence of helping towards ending, towards purification of extinction and emptiness. Completely uninvolved with the disregarding, that which has nothing to do with the body and the mind, and the disregarding completely, uninvolved even within the unvolved itself. Don't be obsessed with involvement or uninvolvement. Don't think much, don't be much. Don't think for others or do things for others. That which is not the disregarding. That which has nothing to do with disregarding. Don't be stuck with just disregarding, extinction or cutting. So that it will enable to bless samsara through the emptiness. Don't be obsessed verbally. The verbal that doesn't purify itself, words that doesn't cleanse itself. It becomes the leftover of karmic difficulties when there are verbal that is nonsense. How many lifetimes that's gonna be in such a way, verbally babbling on and on. Gradually forming up words. Each sentence should be giving ending within itself. Because there is always returning to oneself when there is no extinction in itself. It becomes the karmic difficulties that bounce back to oneself. Each word that is formed up, that doesn't purify itself, it creates lifetime, creates cycle of becoming, creating samsara, and one has to pay back according to one's own thoughts, one's own words. This is not like having the verbal and can say anything, because the trouble will just bounce back to oneself. Beware. Verbal that purifies itself through the extinction. Well with that. Help give ending for samsara. This is not coming here to be stuck with just goodness or badness. Crazy with the goodness. It's not good within itself. Being deluded to the goodness is not good in itself. That which has nothing to do with goodness or badness is the flawless. That which is not samsara, that which is not becoming samsara, goodness or badness, still samsara in itself. This is not just about making oneself good and that's it. It's not like that. You know what that is? It is deceiving other people. that which is not substantial, misleading as substantial, that which is not behaviors, being deluded as behaviors. It looks good. Doing good looks good. Doing good in the way with delusion is not bygone in itself. Doing in a way that is having something in itself, there is no purification of extinction and emptiness in itself, in the formed up. Uninvolved with the disregarding well, so that the behaviors will purify itself, and purifying itself through the emptiness, so that there will not be the creation of behaviors deceiving the world and samsara, or being deluded to create role model as goodness. The more role model, the more its firm attachment in such a role. No traces as a role model. How is it? Uninvolved with disregarding or not, what is there to be as a role model? Being deluded to be in this way and that way, on and on. You know what that is? It will become the collective delusive attachment. It will turn into the sickness of collective delusive attachment. Just to do the mind in this way and that way is already unfortunate. It turns into the delusive attachment, which is collective within the mind. It's called manogam, karmic mind. Making something out of nothing is called pan nam pen toa. The mind is not considered as anything at all, whether it is good or not. It's called anatta. The mind is not the mind itself. Being deluded to create the mind in this way and that way is like forming up the water to create a shape from it. Therefore, it's becoming realm of existence from the Brahma realm to the hell realm. It's gonna go in that way on and on, deludedly creating oneself at this and that on and on, uninvolved disregard from the disregard itself, uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. With this, it will just end all the babbling across the world, across the countries, across the provinces. By itself, as it is, that which has nothing to do with disregarding or non-attachment. We're coming here to help giving ending for samsara, not to do something else. No matter how many times that we are born, is to come here for blessing, not to be fixated or clinging with anything. Why is it so? Because to bless just by oneself is also exhausted. Samsara is tremendous. How can there be just one person who is blessing? There are so many bodhisattvas. There are so many Buddhas and Mahaparami. Samsara is tremendous. How can there be just one person who is blessing? So just know that the form up of each birth, there is an implication totally. So don't think by oneself. Don't say it by oneself and criticize and analyze, because your karmic difficulties will be across Buddha eras. Retreat a lot from the disregarding so that it will be beyond words, thoughts, and actions, so that is enabled to form up in moderation for the body and the mind to help samsara. Samsara is always there. To be always careless, enjoying, babbling, and drifting. How can there be helping to give ending for samsara whenever time? Samsara is always there. So just right there, uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, disregard, even from the disregard itself, right there, right then. Any time is right then. With this essence, when the uninvolved is not involved, even with itself. When disregard, even from the disregard itself, right there is ending that is given. How can one know? Thinking that it's good that we are all a lot here all together. Even one is already suffering with this form up of body and mind. We are living here together in order to refine, to help giving ending for samsara. Therefore, don't be deludedly living. We are sitting and lying here in the way with the bygone every night. What can one get from it? You want to be stuck with your sitting and lying down? Each time, at all times, we just sitting and lying with the bygone. Therefore, don't be much and be much in preoccupation with anything. Being obsessed to compete with goodness or not in earning the living or whatever. This is not to grab something to be deluded with it. We are not here to be deluded to samsara or the world. There is already the living places. Don't think much. We just here to discard it. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, help giving ending and through the extinction onwards. How is it? Is it right? How can one person blesses samsara? Samsara is so tremendous, and as well as the Buddhas. that are tremendous numbers here.
รู้จักไหมเล่า
Do you know
วิ
it?
ภาคีพระบุภาคี
Collective blessing. Use that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment to help bless onwards. There will be automatic purification of the extinction and emptiness. This is not just about self-extinction or self-ending, or ending for the sake of ending. Retreat from the uninvolved, retreat from the disregarding, uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself. It will turn into an automatic purification of the extinction and the boundlessness. All that we lead one another to give up, to sacrifice, is one mechanism of helping to bless samsara. Renouncing, sacrificing, and that's it. That is in its own function. However, there is the sacrifices. It is the blessing in itself. It is the mechanism to proceed for blessing of the Buddhas and the Mahabarami. Each sentence that are said amidst samsara right there, they are truly giving ending for the whirlpool of samsara. That's the proceeding of the blessing that is happening from them. Anywhere is right there amidst samsara. Everywhere is samsara. There is no need to search for the center of samsara. It's everywhere. Everyone is amidst samsara at all times. Therefore, there is no need to be awkward. Anywhere is right there. Uninvolved even within the uninvolved itself, completely right there, wherever you are. Don't be obsessed to search for any damn thing or thinking about any damn thing. Too many things. Anywhere is right there. Be the president of the purification of the extinction instantly. Go ahead. Disregard even from the disregard itself completely. The mighty force of the purification of extinction and emptiness is greatly right there. right here or there or anywhere, wherever you are. The great benefits for all. Go ahead towards such benefits for all. This is not just to be specific with thinking, feeling, body or mind. Don't be so specific with any certain thing. Give the great benefits for all. Come out from the preoccupation. Don't be obsessed with the body and mind in whatever ways, on and on. Disregard, even from the disregard itself. That which has nothing to do with the non-attachment itself. Don't be stuck with just disregard or not. There will be so many who come in, all those great blessed fortune. They are the collective mechanism for blessing with the bodhisattvas, Buddhas. It is not just like supporting or helping. All the Mahabarami, they support for eons of time. It's not just this.